Hey everyone, welcome to the Bluer Nation podcast. This is our first podcast. My name is Jerry Foley. I'm the senior editor of the Giant Insider newspaper. My co-host is Chris Bisignano, who is the beat writer for the Giant Insider. As you all know, the Giants are coming off of a 3-13 season in which they changed GM, head coach, and obviously a number of personnel. And over the last few days, there have been a lot of surprise cuts. Like I said, this is our first podcast. And let's get to it. Let's talk about what the changes are that have been taking place with the Giants and the organization and all those surprise moves that they've made over the last few days. So without further ado, here we go. Hey, Chris, you there?
Yeah, Jerry, I'm here.
Hey, Chris, how's it going, man?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
Good. Lots of changes over the last, 2-3 days. Wanted to get your thoughts because you're there every day. What, with all these changes going on, I mean, how do you take this? I know the Giants were 3-13, but it seems like they're overturning so much of their roster, and maybe it's the back end. But what are your initial thoughts on all this?
My initial thoughts are, Jerry, is that Shermer and Gettleman looked at this roster and said, "Boy, now I know why they were 3-13. Let's get rid of half these guys." That's what I'm thinking. I mean, now my head is spinning. I don't know about you, bud, but my head is spinning. The last 3 days trying to keep up with these changes. So, I mean, I look at it. And I say, they looked at it and say, hey, this team was 3-13 for a reason. Get rid of this guy, get rid of that guy, get this guy in, get that guy in. And that's the way I'm taking it. I mean, I look at today's move. I mean, they bring in John Jenkins, a mediocre defensive tackle. They bring him in, and they get rid of a guy who I thought was on the upside, coming up a little bit better. So, hey, I don't know. It's a lot of movement 5 days before a game.
Yeah, I mean, the Aquara move, that was kind of surprising. He seemed to be buried on the depth chart. I mean, some people have made the argument he's more of a 4-3 backer. I don't know if I buy into that.
Yeah.
I think maybe the move today was more so they could have a backup for Snacks as B.J. Hill's going to start. But wanted to get your thoughts. What were the biggest cuts, the biggest surprise cuts for you?
Well, obviously, it's got to be Davis Webb.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be one of those guys that you see, like you hear about now. Oh, yeah, I knew Webb wasn't that good. Listen, I thought the kid had talent. I thought the kid had an upside. Obviously, Shermer and Gettleman, they didn't think he had an upside. You got rid of him. But obviously, I mean, I don't think there's any question. The second biggest surprise, Jerry, I'd have to say, it's got to be Robert Thomas. I thought Thomas was pretty much solidified in that rotation on the D-line. And next thing you know, he's gone. And we both saw on Twitter what Snacks thought of that. He wasn't going with that one.
Yeah.
I see Thomas got picked up today. He signed to a practice squad somewhere. I watched him every day. I thought, he had a couple of sacks in preseason. I know it was against the second string line and everything like that, but I thought the guy should have stayed. I was surprised by him, Jerry. So I would say Webb and Robert Thomas for sure were the two surprises on my end. How about you?
No, I agree. I think Webb was shocking to me, and I was in the camp of, look, they wanted Barkley because they wanted Barkley, but I also thought that they maybe felt that they had somewhat of an insurance policy in Webb, and I was way wrong. I couldn't be more wrong in that. But do you think this was a move to get away from the Reese McAdoo era, or do you just think they didn't think that?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, Jerry? I don't know about you, man. You reading everything with me. I'm so sick of reading this nonsense on Twitter about, well, they're getting rid of this guy and that guy because, you know what? Reese drafted him.
Right.
Or this one, Reese took this guy, he signed this guy. They got to get rid of that stench. Are you guys, are these people kidding me? Or what? Okay, this is the NFL, Jerry. You know that. These guys will sign a scarecrow if they feel it could win, make them win a game on a Sunday. So just to say, oh, you know what? Let's get rid of Reese's guys because we didn't like him and we didn't like what he did. That is absolutely insane. First of all, there's plenty of guys, Reese draft picks. As a matter of fact, I think they just signed one for like $95 million. That's on his roster. You know what I mean? I mean, Landon's going to get his money next year.
Yep.
So Sterling Shepard is pretty damn good in that slot. So I mean, to say that it's Reese's guys, so they're trying to clean house or Reese's stench. That is the most ridiculous argument. Whoever says that, Jerry, really doesn't know the game because this is the NFL. Not for long if you lose, including Coach Shermer. So I hate that argument, Jerry. I think it's idiotic, and I can't stand reading anymore. I really can't.
Yeah,
how about you? How do you feel on that?
No, it's valid. I think it's more a product of the fact that Reese drafted so poorly over the last, 5-6 years. I don't think there was a concerted effort to get rid of guys because they were drafted by Reese. It's just that these guys can't play. I mean, even before even before Gettleman got here, I mean, the Reese draft picks just didn't last. The DeMontre Moores, the J-Ron Hosleys. I mean, we can go through the whole list.
The JPPs, the tight ends. And
right.
Yeah. Listen, they're getting rid of them, Jerry, because they haven't made the playoffs 5 of the last 6 years.
Yep.
They're not very good.
And they've been non-competitive over those years too.
Yeah. Listen, Jerry, if they made the playoffs 3 of the last 4 years, 3 of the last 5 years, and then they start making these strange cuts, then maybe I would sign up for that conspiracy theory. But not for the team that hasn't had success in the last 6 years. Please stop now.
Yep.
You know, he just didn't, like you said, Jerry. He just didn't draft well, so they get rid of these guys. That's all.
Now, you were at the press conference yesterday. What is your take on keeping Tanny over Webb? I mean, Shermer talked about experience, but he hasn't really seen much game action. I mean, what'd you think of that? What's your take there?
Jerry, listen, I thought that was kind of a strange explanation that Shermer gave about he likes the experience in the room. It's just tough to justify that with a guy that hasn't played. I think he's played 1 game in the 6 years in the league, whatever it is now. And
right.
I understand what Shermer's. I think I get what Shermer was trying to say. He's trying to say, well, we do have a guy here that's been around different teams. He is experienced in looking at game plans and stuff like that. I guess that's what Shermer was getting at. I think he just kind of came across a little wrong by trying to say, I feel comfortable with this guy because he's got reps, and then guys would turn around and say, what reps? He's played 1 game,
Right.
I think it came out wrong on Sherman's end. I don't think he articulated exactly what he meant,
right.
And it came across wrong. As far as keeping, listen, when Sherman kept saying at the presser yesterday, saying that he liked Loletta because he made a decision and he went with it. Okay? He made the read and boom, he threw the ball.
Right.
So read between the lines, Jerry. I don't know about you, Bud, but you read between the lines, it's like Davis Webb was just too dumb. He didn't know how to make a decision. Yeah. Couldn't read a defense. We got to get rid of him.
Yeah, the knock on him in college was when the blitz came, he didn't react to it. It reminded you kind of Josh Allen with less physical ability. When the blitz came, he didn't react to it well. And I don't know if that's something that McAdoo and Reese thought they were going to teach him, but I think it seemed to be one of the big reasons why they got rid of Webb.
I don't think there's any question. I think Sherman looked at it and said, hey, this kid's never going to be able to read defenses.
Yeah.
Loletta does. Let's go with our draft pick, and we'll move on from this Webb because he's not going to be the future of this team. Why are we keeping him? That's the way I took it, Jerry. You know what, Jerry? The impression I got was like, you know what? If Eli gets hurt off a bit this season, it wouldn't have been Webb. It might have been Loletta coming in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if they cut Tanny and they went with Webb and Loletta, nothing's to say, and Sherman made this point yesterday, there was no depth chart behind Eli. Nothing's to say that Webb would have been number 2. I honestly believe right now, Jerry, even if they got rid of Tanny and kept Webb, Kyle Leonard would have been the number 2, and the other guy would have been deactivated. I firmly believe that. He just didn't like him. That's it. Bottom line. Listen, the kid got a big arm. You see him make great throws every day. I shouldn't say every day, but he made some real good throws. But we're not in the quarterback room. We're not reading the defenses. This is something Sherman does, and that's the decision he made. So I'm supporting it. I was surprised by it, but I'm supporting it, bud.
Yeah. When he didn't play the other night, I thought he had won the backup job. I mean, I had no idea what they were going to do, but it looks like they were not playing him with the hopes that they could maybe trade him and him not get injured.
I don't think there's any question. Yeah, Jerry, I don't think there's any question. They didn't want to play him just in case they were trying to trade him and they didn't want him to get hurt.
Yeah,
there's no question about that. Now that the scenario has played out, there's no question about it. They didn't want to play him because they didn't want him getting hurt. They were looking to trade him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So and now we know what happened. It was weird the other night. Webb thought it was weird, but now we know what happened. So
now, as far as specials goes, they cut Khalif Raymond and Hunter Sharp, which was shocking. Mm-hmm. Then they signed the kid from Buffalo to return punts, and then
Kalen Clay. Yeah,
the number 1 kick returner is going to be Latimer, and they already said that they're going to.
It looks like it's going to be Latimer, maybe Clay. Clay returns kickoffs too, so it could be Clay. Yeah.
They're going to line up. They're going to start off with 2 tight ends. I'm sure the personnel is going to change throughout the game, but we talked about it before that the Giants played 3 wide last year, like 90% of the time. Were you shocked about the cutting? Not that Hunter Sharp and Khalif Raymond are Dave Meggett or I'm trying to think of another good kicker. What's his name? Dominic Hickson. But I was I was stunned that they cut both and signed someone from another team, and now he's the starter.
Yeah, you know what? Khalif Raymond wasn't a surprise to me, Jerry.
Yeah.
He wasn't a surprise to me. The Sharp looked kind of good in the preseason and practices too. He was a little bit of a surprise. I just think Gettleman felt that Clay was an upgrade. That's all. I just think they felt, you know what? Clay hit the market. He's an upgrade. Let's go after. Let's get him in there. You know what I mean? So I don't think they were 100% crazy on Sharp, Jerry. And I tell you right now, Jerry, I'm going to tell you this. And people don't want to hear this on Twitter. You know, me and you, we always put this. We put this out there, and people. I'm going to tell you this right now. So get used to it, Giant fans. Shaquan Barkley is going to be returning kickoffs in certain situations.
I know.
There isn't a doubt in my mind. And I say, you know, and another thing, Odell's going to be returning punts in big situations too.
Shermer was just on Francesa, pretty much confirming that. Yep. He said they're going to pick and choose their moments with Odell and with Saquon on kicks.
Well, Jerry, I'm not cheating with that. I did not know about that Francesa interview, so you know, just to get that record, I'm not piggybacking Shermer.
Yep.
I just see it every day in practice.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let me ask you this. You know, first of all, Deion Sanders could have done it at his time, and Antonio Brown does it now. I mean, tell me why Odell shouldn't do it once in a while. A guy who could break a game open every time he touches the ball.
Yeah, I agree. I think for punts it makes sense. I think for kickoffs people get scared. It's a different coverage, and I think people think of Jason Sehorn all the time. I just Giant fans are scarred
Jerry,
from that.
That was a fluke thing, Jerry. It happens.
Yeah, but Giant fans are scarred. Giant fans are scarred from that. That's all.
Jerry, I'll tell you what, but in game 1 or game 2, if Shaquan Barkley goes 99 yards and wins a game or puts them up ahead, you know what? I want to see those same fans say on Twitter, "Oh wow, you know what? I can't believe they did that." Although, are you kidding? They're gonna be raving. Listen to me, Jerry. I'm there every day in practice, as you know. Yeah. I'm telling you, Shaquan Barkley, and Odell Beckham are gonna be part of this special team unit.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
Shermer believes in getting the ball in your playmakers, and that's what this league is all about. So should it come as a surprise to nobody? No, of course not. Yep. Come on, stop now. Everybody, like you said, Jerry, everybody, remember Sehorn? Oh, come on, give me a break. You know what I mean? It's football. It happens. Yeah. You know what I mean? So please.
Yeah, I think you're right. So I think we're definitely going to see that. As far as injuries, they're relatively healthy. I mean, Ingram, I know, is in concussion protocol, but looks like he's going to play. What's your take on Olivier Vernon? I heard he was walking around.
I don't think he's going to. I don't think. First of all, you know, Shermer is very coy with the injuries, but Olivier Vernon's got a high ankle sprain. He could deny it all he wants, Shermer. Yeah. I don't know if he's coming out and finally admitting it. I don't know. But he has a high ankle sprain, and he's not going to play Sunday. I don't think he's going to play Sunday. And I hope they don't rush him back, Jerry, because what's going to happen if they do try to play him, if he tries to give it a go, he's going to aggravate it. He'll be out 4 to 6 weeks. That's what's going to happen with that injury. As far as Ingram, I saw Ingram in the locker room yesterday. He said he's feeling really good, and he should be good to go Sunday. Now, that's not a definite, but he should be good to go. That's his feeling. Me personally, I think he'll be out of the protocol towards the end of the week. He'll be good to go Sunday. I'll be shocked, Jerry, if I see Olivier Vernon. I'll be shocked if I see him.
Who starts in his place?
Jerry, I was there, Jerry. I was there when he got hurt, and he was in a lot of pain, but it wasn't just a regular lowly ankle. He was in a lot of pain.
Who do you have starting in his place?
I tell you what, when he got hurt, the next practice they rolled in Lorenzo Carter and Romeo. Yeah, Romeo's gone. Okay, I look for Connor Ballman, or I tell you, Jerry, I wouldn't surprise me if you see the kid Carter out there. But right now, if
they
you
like,
ask me
they
right
like
now,
him a lot. Yeah.
The kid has got a huge upside. If you ask me right now, Jerry, I would say, you know what? Now that Romeo's gone, I would say probably Connor Ballman, probably the veteran.
Okay. Now, how's his knee? He had a very mysterious injury. They said soreness. Turned out to be a knee. Yeah. What's the story there?
Yeah, no, he's good. He should be good to go. I saw Ballman last week. He was running. I actually grabbed him on the side quick. You know, and he's like, I'm good to go. So I think he's good to go. He did a lot of individual work last week. I think this week in practice you'll see him do more, and he'll be good to go for Sunday.
One of the guys that's a good story, great story, Sean Chandler out of Temple. Now, I'm really happy he made the team, but, I mean, that was out of nowhere. He seemed buried on the depth chart, and he's another surprise. I'm glad they kept him. I like the kid, but, again, did you see him playing in practice or what? Right.
Jerry, I saw him and Evan Brown on a third-string depth chart. Yeah. Third string at every practice, man. I mean, that was a huge huge surprise to me. Evan Brown was a big surprise to me too. I mean, these guys were buried in the depth chart the whole camp. I looked at the practice. I'm there at the practice. Of course, we all see the preseason games, and I didn't see what Chandler did to earn a spot on his team.
Right.
But listen, I guess Deshae Townsend and Lou Anaromo, they saw something different, and obviously Betcha, and of course the final word with Sherman and Gettleman. I didn't see it. I mean, I'm happy for the kid. I was actually talking to him yesterday too. Very happy for the kid. He's a great kid. He's got an unbelievable story, as we all, most Giant fans know by now. But that was a surprise, Jerry. It really was. I did not see that coming with him. No, I didn't.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, that was out of nowhere. As far as what with Saquon Barkley, is he completely healthy now?
He's healthy. Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Yeah.
Yep, he's good to go. He's 100%. He's good to go. Nothing wrong with him. He did a wheel, Jerry. One of the last days of practice there last week, he did a wheel route. The same exact play that he got hurt on in practice. He did one. Of course, he caught the ball because he's got the best hands on the team, buddy. As I have been tweeting, I know I've caught some heat for that. People flash me Odell pictures and all that. But I'll tell you this again, Jerry. As you know, my stance, you get the best hands on the team, hands down.
Yeah.
So he did a wheel route.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I mean, Odell makes the most spectacular catches, but I can see what you're saying, that the sure-handedness. I mean, I've seen Odell drop him right in his chest sometimes, and you wonder if he just put out one hand, would he have grabbed it? But yeah, I know what you mean about Barkley. He catches everything. And look, Eli's not the best screen pass quarterback, and you must have seen a million times the ball just almost hit the turf and him scoop it up.
Jerry, I've seen Saquon Barkley now from when was the first OTA? April, I guess what it was, right? April.
Yep.
And
early May.
Now, early May was the first OTA. I'm sorry, early May was the first OTA. And I've been watching him now. It's now September 4th, whatever we're in. We're ready to go for Jacksonville, and I've yet to see him put a ball on the turf. Yet. So, I see everybody's hands, and I'm telling you, Barkley's got the best hands, and I'm telling you, this kid is going to be a major weapon in the pass game. Major weapon. But as far as his health, like I said last week, he did the same wheel route that he got hurt on. He came away from that play. He was fine. So he's good to go. There's no wrapping on his legs.
They were being more cautious anyway.
Yeah, listen. It was a tweak in the hamstring. You have to be cautious with it. But you'll see him Sunday.
Now, one thing we both said was Gallman was going to be the number 2 and Stewart 3, and everybody's up in arms about how bad Stewart looks. You remind him that LeGarrette Blount for the Eagles last year looked terrible in preseason, but I don't think it was any surprise that the depth chart came out today. Gallman's number 2. How much do you see him getting in the game? Not just this week, but through the season. I mean, how many touches a game you think he'll get?
Gallman?
Yeah.
I think he'll get 8 to 10.
Yeah.
I think he'll get like 8 to 10 touches a game, and I think he's going to be a weapon out of the backfield. I think he'll be targeted a few times out of the backfield. I do. Gallman is a good player. Stewart, I don't know what role they have for him. I really don't. But Gallman is obviously going to spell. Saquon's not going to be every series, so he's going to spell him, and I see him getting the ball. I guess like 6 to 8 times, to 10 times a game. That's the way I see it right now. How about you? How do you think?
Yeah, no, to your point before, that's one another Reese pick that they're not ridding themselves of, because that would be stupid. He's a very good player.
Wait a minute, Jerry. You mean you didn't cut him because Reese drafted him?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. I thought every Reese guy was gone.
Yeah.
You mean they moved a Reese pick up in the depth chart? I can't believe it.
You could argue that he did build up the skill positions pretty well. Not so much running back, but like you said, Odell, Ingram, Shepard, Gallman. So he had a knack for that.
Listen, Jerry. I don't like to bury people. Listen. There was a lot of things Reese didn't address, especially the linebacker position, especially the offensive line last year.
Yep.
I understand that he had a lot of things that he could have done differently. I'm sure he would if you asked him today. Although he probably never admitted Reese, but I'm sure at home he's saying, "Damn, I should have did this." But you know what, Jerry? He also had a lot of good draft picks.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know people want to destroy Reese at every moment, and sometimes it's justifiably so, Jerry. Sometimes, but you know what? You also got to give the guy credit when credit is due.
Yeah, and I mean, take someone like Linval Joseph. He was a great draft pick. The fault there was they didn't re-sign him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, listen, that was a case of. Well, listen, Linval Joseph was a nice player for us, Jerry, but he really ascended when he went to the Vikings.
Yeah,
He's been excellent for the Vikings. He did not play that type of ball for us as he's doing for the Vikings. So
right.
To Reese's, I don't like to, not that I'm defending Reese, but all I'm saying is that Linval Joseph was not a dominating tackle like he is for the Vikings right now. He was not like that for us. He was a good player, but right now for the Vikings, he's like one of the top 5, 6 in the league now. At that position, and he wasn't like that with us. You remember, Jerry? He was good with us, but he wasn't like that.
Right.
The way he is with Minnesota.
Yeah, he's one of the best in the league, like you said. Now.
But yeah, Jerry, like I said, listen, I'm the first one. Reese didn't do this. I understand that, but you know what? Sometimes you got to give the guy credit too. He also had a lot of good draft picks, like you said, Jerry, a few minutes ago. Had a lot of impact draft picks on the offensive side of the ball. He really has.
Yep.
I mean, Ingram's he's phenomenal over there. He's going to be phenomenal. And then you got Shep and of course Odell and like you said, this Gorman guy, you know what I mean? This Gorman kid is a good player, man. So,
last thing, we talked about special teams before, but I just want to talk about the kicking. Dixon seems like a huge upgrade over Wing, and Roses seems like I don't know if he trained differently in the offseason, but kicks are going through the end zone, field goals are right down the center. I mean, what did you see that in practice as well? Or
No. He's looked good all camp. Roses has looked really good. Derek, that was a little bit disappointing. Like, remember last year? I mean, we actually sat together a few games, in your house, and this guy's kicking the ball to the 5-yard line. We were like, wait a minute, I thought this guy's supposed to have a great leg. What the hell is he doing?
And you wonder if that was by design or not. I hate that. I hate the whole trying to kick it high and get your cover. Just blast it through the end zone and let him start on the 25.
Yeah, well, the only time it was designed so far this year, Sherman admitted it was by design in the first preseason game against the Browns because he wanted to look at the special teams coverage. But then you notice the second game and the third game, he had Rosas booming the ball through the end zone, which you're going to see, Sunday. They're not going to take no chip shot. I think he's going to put the ball through the end zone. But, his leg seems to be strong this year, Jerry. It really has. I mean, he's looked good in kickoffs in camp, and he's looked good in the preseason games, and his field goals have been good in both camp and preseason games. So I think the guy's primed for a solid year. I thought that last year too, though, Jerry. He missed 4, 5, 6 field goals, whatever it was. So we'll see with him. It's his second year in the league now, and I expect him to be solid. I'm really happy. I thought Gettleman stole this Dixon guy. I really did.
He was traded for a 7th-round pick, right?
They traded for a 7th-round pick, and right away people wanted to blast Gettleman. Oh, it's the only reason why he has this average because he's kicking up in the mountains in Denver.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? He's not in the mountains anymore over here in the Meadowlands, and I see him in practice. You see him in preseason. The kid can really kick.
Yeah, Shermer was on saying how much he not only can kick it far, but he's got great placement inside the 20, which
Jerry, he kicks it outside
we haven't had
the numbers
since Fiegels,
he drove it there. He's so like it. Yeah. Like Weatherford days and Jeff Fiegels. Remember when Fiegels used to be able to do that, So, Dixon, I'm really happy. I'm really happy with the special teams, Jerry, as far as kicking. I like the way they even covered in the preseason. And get ready, Giant fans, because you're going to see all 26 and 13 out there returning kickoffs and returning punts. And I couldn't be more happy. I know people are going to be like, what are you talking about, Chris? This guy could get hurt. Odell got hurt last year. What, Jerry? How did he get hurt last year, Jerry? On a quick slant, right?
Yeah, on a high throw.
That's a whole other story. He got hurt in a quick. He got hurt in a quick slant. What I'm trying to say is it's football. You could get hurt in any play. You know what I mean?
You know what, buddy? So, on that note, we'll end it. Thanks, man. Good stuff, and not bad for our first podcast, I don't think.
No, not bad at all. But I hope the people like it. I'm sure they will. They've been actually people who follow have been calling. They've been asking for it, right, bud? They've been asking, What the hell you guys podcast, right? So here it is.
See
now
that?
You're going to get it every week.
See that? If you build it, they will listen. All right, buddy.
If you. Yeah, we're going to add a little pizzazz to it, Jerry. You know what I mean? And Coach Sherman, we love you right now, but get ready because me and Jerry think there's some questionable decisions. You're going to hear about it.
The honeymoon's over as of this Sunday.
Yeah.
So
there's only one 15-year honeymoon, and that was a show with Jackie Gleason. Other than that,
Take care, bud.
All right, bud. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. We will be back soon. I think this is a very good first episode, and hopefully there'll be many more to come. Take care, PGI Nation.